Welcome to the program. How is everybody? Everybody good? Everybody great? It's Wednesday, September 1st. Woo! My, does the time fly. How are you today? Good to have you with us. My name's Nick Stewart. This is Sunrise Santa Rosa. Telephone number to call is 850-771-0001. Oh, there's everybody popping in. God bless you. Hey, Justin. Kids ready for school? Thank you, Angie. Corey, how are you? Stan, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Got it. All right. If you texted no pronouns, please have an object to what we're speaking about. Good morning, Howard. God bless you, my friend. All right. We've got some stuff to talk about today, as we always do. Thank you for sharing it. Numbers have been rocking. Appreciate it. And I appreciate everybody's participation. Your forecast for today, not bad. Not bad. Yesterday, the drive yesterday morning was a little precarious. That rain coming down was wicked wild. And but yesterday afternoon was pretty. Mix of clouds and sun. Slight chance of a thunderstorm this afternoon. High near 89. Chance of rain today, 30%. Tonight, partly cloudy. Late night shower, thunderstorm. Low near 73. Chance of rain overnight, 40%. And then tomorrow for Thursday, sunshine and clouds mixed. Stray shower, thunderstorm possible. And a high near 89. Chance of rain tomorrow is like 24%. We can stand it. It's 78 in Milton, 81 Gulf Breeze, 80 Navarre, and 78 in Pensacola. Weekend should be great, though. We should be good. All right. Hi, Lynn. How are you? Macaria. Good to have you with us. All right. So let's get started with all the festivities. Now, there's a woman, I don't know if I pulled up the picture. I thought I did. I might have stuck it somewhere weird because I do that. It's what I do. There's a woman in DeBerry, Florida. She has a diner. And she posted a picture or a sign on her door. And it just said, if you voted for and support President Biden, don't come in. Now, if you voted for and continue to support and stand behind the worthless, inept, and corrupt administration currently inhabiting the White House that is complicit in the death of our servicemen and women in Afghanistan, please take your business elsewhere, is what the sign reads. Angie Ugardi, who owns the diner for 5 years, said she posted the sign Thursday after the suicide bombing that also killed nearly 200 Afghans. She intends to keep it up as long as Americans are stranded in Afghanistan. Now, I get her sentiment. But here's my thought on things. Well, yeah, Howard, good. I mean, okay, good for her. All right. And I don't mind people standing up and speaking, but do you really want to do that to your business? Now, hear me. She rocks. Okay. But do you care? Do you really care what politics people have when they eat? If they're coming to your business to eat, if they're coming to buy your widget, do you care? It's not like she's selling Trump t-shirts. She's selling chicken fried steak. Well, I know the left does. But we're not the left. This is just, she may get more, I know. But look, everyone's money is green. Exactly. That is exactly my point, Justin. It doesn't matter. Because, yeah, okay. But I'm just saying, if it was me, I mean, I may have a Trump whatever in the shop, but do you want to say, "No, I don't." Look, I had when I was working for WEBY and selling advertising, I had a restaurant, and I said, "This is your audience. This is talk radio. These are people that have money. They eat out." I gave them all the stats, and they go, "Well, I don't like the politics on the station." And I said, "You don't have to. You're not buying the politics. You're buying the people. That's what you're advertising. You're advertising to this guy. You don't care what their politics are." And business is business. Is your business only to the right wing? Is your business only to the left wing? If it is, fine. But this woman alienated probably half. She alienated probably half. The sign doesn't say anything about Trump. This is about Biden. But even if you didn't vote for Biden, but you're a lefty, you might kind of go, "I'm not welcome here." It's the principle. The left has, but to your hurt, it's what about this? What about let's have some things that aren't that way? Let's have some things that are unifying. Now, let me say this the rally Friday night was intended, business. I got you. I don't know. I don't know. But she had people walk away hungry, ready to buy. The rally Friday night was intended to be local and just get it didn't make a difference what party you were part of. If you were angry about things going on locally, and that does affect everybody. If you were angry about things going on locally, that's who we wanted. Now, against my wishes, it devolved into a Trump thing or an anti-vax thing. That's not what it was about. That's not what it's about. I was angry about that. But you don't want to. She's not catering to the dead. She's not catering to the dead people that voted for Biden. I got you. It's money. It's just money. And I don't know if that's the place to do it. Oh, look, I know people are jaded, but listen, can't we have a place where we can just come? What about? Hey, listen, come in. Feel free to talk about religion. Let's talk about let's leave politics out of it. Please, no politics. Come in and have something good to eat. Enjoy your neighbors. Instead, it's we don't want you. How about putting up a sign? Hey, listen, we lost a lot of service members in the attack in Afghanistan. And regardless of how you feel about this administration, let's take some time to remember our fallen. I'm afraid you're right, Howard. You can't leave politics out, but we should be able to. We should be able to, but it's frustrating. I know, but listen, if you see a sign that says, "Hey, if you voted for Joe Biden, you're not welcome here," I don't know. Well, America is now I agree with that, Keith. I don't think that this woman has done herself any favors. I just don't. Now, if she wanted to put up, hey, the Trump sign and say, we support Trump, you may not feel you're welcome, but you may not feel comfortable. She told these people they are not welcome. I think that is bad business. I know. And I'm a preacher and a talk radio guy. Doesn't go very well. I'm not popular at parties. But that's my question. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I appreciate that, Kim. Here's one thing about manners, and this kind of goes off the rails just a little bit. Is okay, good for you, but I don't think it's going to match what she loses. I have a good friend who's a Democrat. Yes, thank you, Corey. But I don't, manners. The people that I hear use vile, vulgar language in public, in regular conversation, appalls me. It's like, wow, you didn't even look to see who was around you before you used that language. Manners. My wife and I went to the store the other day. Angie and I went to the store. We sometimes do. And there were just people standing in the aisle. A family, and it happens all the time. But this one particular family standing in the aisle. There was 4 of them, and they didn't care that you needed to get around them. They didn't. It wasn't. That's manners. They have bad manners. Then why put up the sign? Keith, if that's the deal, why put up the sign? Yeah. But just kind of watch those things. But I don't think alienating people is the answer. You don't look. Can I throw out another example? Hi. But it doesn't. What if your customers already agree with you? What good is it? Put something on the menu. I don't know, or a anti-Joe special or whatever. I don't know. But here's a case. So in Christianity, are you going to get more people by showing love to them, or standing on a street corner screaming at them that they're going to hell? I don't know. I agree, Kim, but is that the place to do it? I don't know. I could be wrong. Evidently, I'm wrong because nobody's. I don't put freedom fries in. Yeah. So what? So what? It's Florida. It doesn't make a difference how many miles away it is. I just think it's kind of a short-sighted business model. And I just think it's just a bitterness. I don't know. It could be better. It would be better to just say, "Hey, come on in." I don't know. Yeah, full of the same thing he is. 850-771-0049. All right, whatever. The unvaccinated are under attack daily. It's PR. I don't know. Good manners are important. Save your bad stuff for your home. There you go. Yes, if it's your business, it's a reflection on you, and you should be able to make your statements. It shows her frustration. Kim, I understand it. Now, Kim, you're a business owner. Are you going to put on your store, I don't want any Democrats in here. No Democrats. This is only Republicans. Are you going to put that on your door? I believe the quarantine throughout our country has created a mindset that it's okay to segregate yourself from people with views. Maybe. Get vaccinated. No. No. You get vaccinated. If you want to get vaccinated. I've got the antibodies. I've got study after study that shows that because I've had COVID, I've got more antibodies than you do. My bad language is Tourette's. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. You want to hear a funny story? This is a funny story from my child. This shows you the kind of kid I was. Back in the 80s, early 80s, 2020, we had 3 channels out in the country, right? So I watched 2020 on Friday night. And John Stossel did a fascinating report. I wouldn't be able to do that size of my business. Well, but it's your business. It's your business. Then you are going right against what you just said. So John Stossel did a report on Tourette's syndrome. I was fascinated. Thank you, Renee. Right. Thank you. So I was fascinated by the Tourette's syndrome. Just wow. So at 13 years old, I developed Tourette's syndrome for about 6 months. Drove my mother crazy. Yeah. It was interesting. I wasn't allowed to watch 2020 for like 3 years. Okay. All right. So let's get out of this. I had a vaccine in April and COVID in July. Congratulations. Yeah. Okay. All right. Stossel rules. I do like John Stossel. Okay. Enough of that. Let's get to the question of the day. When do we stop giving out COVID bonuses? My land, people, has this gotten way off course? Dozens of volunteer firefighters in Escambia County could soon receive a bonus. At the county commissioners meeting Thursday, they will decide whether to give volunteer firefighters a one-time $1,000 bonus. Governor DeSantis announced this summer that the state would give first responders $1,000 pandemic relief checks. Among the nearly 200,000 first responders to get the payment were 35,000 firefighters, but volunteer firefighters were not included. Burgage said that he and other county leaders believe volunteer firefighters should also be shown appreciation with a big check. There are some eligibility requirements, such as completing 96 hours of training and running 25% of calls. That's not a bonus then. Burgage said 60 volunteer firefighters would qualify. That's $60,000. $60,000. Laura, hey, great point, Laura. Yeah. I don't know. What if I'm not going there. I'm just done. So you've got volunteer firefighters, which I love. My uncle, my cousin are volunteer firefighters. My uncle was, my cousin is volunteer firefighters. They love it, and I'm glad they do. But it's volunteer. They don't get paid. It's not a paid position. Now, am I against them getting it? I don't know. But where do we stop? Where do we stop? Well, yeah. I see some of that. I appreciate what they do. I appreciate them working during the pandemic. I do. But here's the thing. It's volunteer. You don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. It doesn't affect your paycheck at all. So maybe it should be a $500 one, not a $1,000 one. It's just weird. Burgash said 60 volunteer firefighters will qualify. That's $60,000. He says will come from the county's volunteer stipend fund. A lot of people worked through the pandemic. Right. It is. It is. It's just like reparations. Where do you stop giving reparations? No bonuses. I don't know. My job stopped giving COVID bonuses. Yeah. Well, yeah, you get hooked on it, right, Justin? You get used to it. And then that's a problem. But again, these guys are volunteer. They don't do it for the paycheck. Do you want to appreciate them? Yeah. But maybe there's maybe there's this. Maybe they get a $500 Publix card. I would be with that. Yeah. Well, there's issues there, Chance. But you get my point. Hopefully. Where does this stuff stop? I want my $1,000. Now, here's the thing is did all these people get their stimulus money? I would think so. I don't know, Keith. Maybe you don't get one. Maybe you need to talk to Jeff Burgash. That'd be my suggestion. Escambia County school bus drivers, the handout nation. You are correct, Howard. And it's getting worse. It's going to be more. Escambia County school bus drivers and educational support personnel will vote to receive a pay raise. Now, I don't understand why they have to vote because who's going to go, you know what? I don't want a pay raise. I don't think I deserve a pay raise. No. They're going to vote. I would like to know who is brave enough to vote against it. But I digress. The increase would meet the Escambia County School Board's goal to pay bus drivers in excess of $15 an hour. We're excited about the pay increase for bus drivers and the potential to have an hourly wage over $15 an hour. This increase will better compensate our bus drivers and help to recruit new drivers. We're also excited to be able to provide all other support personnel the equivalent of a 4% raise. Last Thursday, Escambia County School District and the Union of Escambia County Staff Professionals agreed to a settlement on the terms of the new raise proposal for all employees categorized as educational support personnel, or ESP. A new incoming bus operator will now earn an hourly wage of $14.72 in addition. Bus drivers will have 2 training opportunities to increase their salaries up to an additional 50 cents an hour. Workers will now vote to ratify the proposal like it's going to be an issue. It's just going through the motions. Now, here is my question. Laura's in Michigan. Local sign in front of the school is advertising $17 an hour, $750 bonus. That is more like it, Laura. Now, they're having trouble getting bus drivers. Why not do this? Because it's weird hours, right? It's really early in the morning. It screws up your afternoon. So why not do this? Is it worth $15 an hour? Put them on salary. Give them a salary. And you're going to agree to do X amount of extracurricular bus driving in the year. And you get some paid sick leave. You get some insurance, not a lot, but a little. Well, I agree. I mean, I don't know if it should be $35 an hour, but it should be more than 15. Do you a salary? You work for us. I mean, really, you couldn't hold a regular 8 to 5 job with a school bus driver, right? Put them on salary. It doesn't have to be a big salary. Maybe it's $2,000 a month. I don't know. I haven't done the math for 35. I mean, for 15. However, but you see what I'm saying? And give them some options. Give them some options and make it worth their while. I don't know how many hours a day is school bus driver. Let's say 6. It's $90 a day. I don't know. Just saying. 35 helps them with health and welfare. I got you. Dual role bus driver support personnel. I agree with that. But and give them a salary. $15 an hour. People complain about that. I mean, look, let me tell you this. Whether you agree with it or not, a school bus driver is a skilled job. You have to take a test, CDL license, all that kind of stuff. You have weird hours. This is not flipping burgers. You got me? This is not working part-time at Home Depot. Let's bump it up a little bit. I just think, it's pretty ridiculous. Bus driver security, yeah. Arm them. Hey, when you get done, grab your weapon. You're going to patrol the hallways. You're going to help grade paper. You're going to answer phones, whatever. Okay. Then let's guarantee them that. And go that route. Guarantee them that. Give them some spiffs. Give them some insurance. And go from there. I know Escambia County has its problems. But are we allowed to talk about the Sterling Fibers borrow pit? Or is that off limits? We can talk about that. There's more information coming out on that kind of thing. It's a much harder job. It's a much harder job as they are carrying precious cargo. Aren't you just a gentle giant? No, but they're also carrying a bunch of jack wagons. I wouldn't drive a bus, no matter how much you paid me. I would not drive a bus. No. Living wage is important. David, I don't agree. Living wage is bogus. I think that's a bogus argument. You don't like it, get another job. If you don't like it, get another job. Usually they're second incomes. It's not supposed to be a living wage. Easy. All right. No, that's my point. Booger machines. All right. There you go. Hitachi Cable in America, in Pensacola, has announced they'll be laying off over 200 employees and moving the plant's manufacturing operations to Mexico. Thank you, Joe Biden, for destroying 200 jobs in Pensacola. And Escambia County Commissioners received a letter from Hitachi Cable this week saying they'll close the Pensacola plant by the end of March 2022. Over 200 employees will be affected. They said in a letter to commissioners they began terminating and reducing hours of employees on Tuesday. We're pulling the plug. We're going to Mexico. Exactly. No. Oh, David, are you you're leaning a little towards the lib side. You're leaning that way. Check yourself. This is all Joe Biden. It's not corporate greed. Has nothing to do with corporate greed. It has to do with corporate survival because they have rolled back all the tax incentives that Trump gave them. They're screwing the big business, and they've got to leave. Right. You're exactly right, Howard. Howard, because you're a star pupil, how are wages set? How should wages be set? I guess I should say. Howard, how should wages be set? I know. Well, I don't believe we need the EPA. Not like they've not. Well, they should be scaled back. They should not have the power that they have. The working class. That is political. That is political, David. Exactly. And you can't pay it all to the government. Joe Biden does not like business. He must be trying to run for county commissioner in Santa Rosa. Trump gave them incentive to stay in the U.S. and yes, Biden rolled all that stuff back. Market demand for skill set. Yes, Howard, that is correct. The market demands it. The market sets the wages. You've got to pay Billy he's a good employee. You have to pay him a good wage so he doesn't go down the street and get a better wage. That's competition sets the wage. Yes. Well, Flint, Michigan. That's another nation. 850-771-004. But it is frustrating. COVID bonuses, all that. It bothers me. It bothers me. And it should bother you. Yeah, there's people losing. Now, there's jobs around, but, who knows? I don't know. Dr. Rick Harper. Look at the big brain on Howard. All right. Stephen Alford. You may not know his name or remember his name, but there he is. He's at Fort Walton Beach. He was indicted by federal grand jury on counts of wire fraud and the attempted prevention of a seizure of an electronic device. Jason Arcudi, acting U.S. State's Attorney for the Northern District of Florida, Alford was arrested on August 31st and made his initial appearance in federal court to face charges. The indictment alleges that between March 16th and April 7th, Alford engaged in a scheme to defraud the Gates family out of $25 million, as articulated in the indictment. Alford is alleged to have been involved in a scheme to obtain money based upon false promises or guarantees he made to the Gates family that Alford could deliver a presidential pardon for a family member of a victim. The office of Matt Gaetz released a statement regarding the indictment of Alford on Tuesday. 5 months ago today, Rep. Gaetz asserted, after baseless allegations, that he was the victim of an extortion attempt. One of the men involved in that attempt, Stephen Alford, was today indicted, but he wasn't acting alone. And so there you go. Justice is coming. So there you go. Do I want to go there? All right, let's get out of this. I just get really kind of irritated with some of these things. All right. Right now, an Ohio man is being treated with ivermectin. It's a drug commonly used as an animal dewormer. We used it on my dog because of a mite. A red mange. It was a mite. This comes after his wife filed a lawsuit to make it happen. The Food and Drug Administration and Centers for Disease Control and Prevention both strongly warn against it, but a judge ordered a hospital to use it to treat the man. According to court documents, the man is suffering from infections and is on a ventilator at Westchester Hospital. His chance of survival is less than 30%. On August 19th, his wife searched an alternative treatments and asked the hospital to give him the drug ivermectin after consulting with Dr. Fred Wagshall out of Centerville, Ohio. It was her wish to give him a trial of it, knowing he was in the hospital for God knows how many days. We've had 6 cases nationally where people were intubated on ventilators, 6 different states, and went home after taking it, and no one can explain it, he said. So got a judge to approve it. There you go. We will get to that. Not today, but we will get to that. As long as no, Joey, that is incorrect. You are you could not be more 100% wrong. You could not be more 100% wrong. Thanks, Renee. Appreciate you too. Those dewormers make your DNA react to 5G. All right. Gosh. I know. Yeah. Whatever. The Florida Department of Health sets the record straight on false data claims by the Miami Herald. Today, the Miami Herald published an article riddled with contradictions and false claims, specifically in regards to their front page headline. Florida changed its COVID-19 data, creating an artificial decline in recent deaths. The Miami Herald also published a misleading article on Friday stating it's the largest single-day increase to the death total in the state's COVID-19 pandemic history. The jump in number of reported cases and deaths is due to the newest way deaths and cases are counted. The CDC implemented the change earlier this month, causing occasional one-day aberrations like the 901 additional deaths on Thursday and 726 more deaths reported Monday. The narrative surrounding the artificial decline and jump contradict one another and are patently false and have zero credibility. The Department of Health welcomes the opportunity to highlight the contradictions and falsehoods. There's a list of the facts and the myths. The COVID-19 and public health in general should never be politicized, but it has been. Publications like the Miami Herald have a duty to their readers and all Floridians, but they will not hold that up. Just wow. So the hurricane that went through in Louisiana, and I looked at the pictures, and there's water as far as you can see. There's water as far as you can see on the land. And I went, this is Louisiana. Think about how many gators are in that water. Authorities in Louisiana say an alligator attacked and killed a 71-year-old man who was standing in floodwaters left by Hurricane Ida. St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's Office said the apparent alligator attack happened Monday around noon. A woman called authorities to report the attack. She said she was in her house when she heard something happening outside. She went out to investigate. A large alligator was attacking her husband. She ran to help her husband and was able to stop the attack. She pulled him out of the floodwaters and went inside to grab some first aid supplies. But when she returned, her husband's body was gone. They tried to find the victim using high water vehicles and flatboats, but recovery efforts have been unsuccessful so far. Yeah. Pretty crazy. And water moccasins everywhere. Yes. It's dangerous. And these people, look, there's 3 feet of sand in some places on the land. It is uninhabitable in some places. Don't go back. United States Rep. Marquane Mullen has reportedly gone missing while trying to enter Afghanistan amid the Taliban takeover and chaotic U.S. departure. According to the Washington Post, the Republican congressman was on a rogue evacuation mission, ignoring warnings from the State Department not to travel to the country. Mullen reportedly contacted the embassy in Tajikistan in an attempt to move cash into Afghanistan. Embassy officials told Mullen they could not assist him in skirting the laws on cash limits on his way to visiting one of the most dangerous places on earth. His office is not responding to calls. Katie says, I've not heard of any ivermectin deaths and there are thousands of vaccine deaths. There are some poisoning cases from ivermectin, people doing it wrong, using paste. Horrifying audio of distant gunshots appear to confirm reports of house-to-house executions as the Taliban asserts control of Kabul after the U.S. military's departure on Monday evening. An Afghan man who worked with Americans on the ground provided Fox News with chilling audio featuring distant gunshots and some not so distant. I think there's a conflict between the Taliban, and I have no idea where I'm located. From everywhere, I hear the sounds of shooting, gunfire. I have no idea how to leave. President Biden did not deny a Politico report confirmed by Fox News that U.S. officials in Kabul gave the Taliban a list of American citizens, green card holders, and Afghan allies in an effort to grant them entry to the airport, which resulted in outrage from military officials behind the scenes who said that they gave the Taliban a kill list. Make you feel good, doesn't it? Yes. You got to get rid of the evidence. And the quicker we kill them, the better. Yeah, don't do the horse paste. Don't do that. In the face of mounting criticism, Joe Biden defended his administration's course of action relating to the bungled U.S. military withdrawal in Afghanistan. He called the operation an extraordinary success. He called it an extraordinary success. We completed one of the biggest airlifts in history with more than 120,000 people evacuated to safety. Who created the danger? No nation has ever done anything like it in all of history. Well, thank God. The last plane exited Afghanistan on Monday, leaving behind hundreds of American citizens and thousands of Afghan nationals who worked with the U.S. during the last 20 years of military occupation. As part of the success, he claimed that more than 5,500 Americans were airlifted out of Afghanistan. It's a figure which the administration now says accounts for 90% of those stranded in the country. A passing grade, Biden implied. The bottom line is 90% of Americans in Afghanistan who wanted to leave were able to leave. And for those remaining Americans, there's no deadline. We remain committed to getting them out of the country if they want to come out. They're ditched. Now, officials are still vague about the number of Americans they believe to still be in the country. They say there's many, many more, hundreds more. I know. He is a murderer. Well, let's go more to that point. Oh, you got to hear this. Listen to this. Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby continued to put his foot in his mouth Tuesday while trying to convince the public that the Biden administration has things under control in Afghanistan. While speaking with MSNBC's Willie on Morning Joe, Kirby trotted out a strange talking point. Listen to this. Hear this. Listen. You've got to hear it.
What does that look like? How does diplomacy get those people out of the Taliban-controlled Afghanistan?
It's not completely unlike the way we do it elsewhere around the world. I mean, we have Americans that get stranded in countries all the time.
What? That's your excuse? We've got Americans that get stranded in countries all the time. That's no big deal. It happens every day. That is, wow.
It's not completely unlike the way we do it elsewhere around the world. I mean, we have Americans that get stranded in countries all the time.
All the time. It happens all the time. Wow. I can't watch the news anymore because of stupidity. Oh, hold on. Hold on. You got to hear this. I'm going to jump ahead just a little bit. A Pew research carried out June 14th through the 27th indicates that not only do those on the political right have a much lower level of trust regarding information from the national news organizations than those on the left, but the right's level of trust has steeply declined since 2016. While a whopping 78% of Democrats and Democrat-leaning independents indicated they have a lot or some trust regarding the information flowing from the national news outfits, a much smaller 35% of Republicans and Republican-leaning individuals share that sentiment. The 35% figure is merely half of the 70% level recorded back in 2017. People aren't trusting the news. Yeah. Shauna Chappelle, I don't know, whose son, Marine Corps Lieutenant Kareem L. Lance Corporal Kareem L. Nakui, was killed in a terrorist attack in Kabul airport. She excoriated President Joe Biden in his Facebook post after meeting with Biden. Chappell adds her name to the list of new Gold Star families who have harshly criticized Biden after hearing their children died in the attack. She wrote on Facebook that while meeting with Biden on Sunday, the president allegedly rolled his eyes at her when she rebuffed his attempts to sympathize with her. She claimed Biden walked away from her when she expressed that she believed he was responsible for her son's death. He rolled his eyes and walked away. Great. Mark Schmitz, whose 20-year-old Marine son Jared was among the slain, told the Post he got angry every time he saw Biden look at his watch. Let me get this and get rid of this. Look at him. He's checking his watch. So it happened multiple times. He checked his watch. This guy doesn't care about these families. You're an inconvenience. I understand, but you got to know what he's doing. It is totally unacceptable. Then Schmidt told the newspaper he witnessed a grieving woman go off on Biden from across the tarmac. She said, "I hope you burn in hell. That was my brother." Not the success that he says it is. Yeah. 850-771-0049. Yeah, it is. I mean, do the troops support this guy? I don't know. No, he had no regard for the families. He never did. He doesn't have any regard for our military, or he wouldn't have done the withdrawal the way he did. What a dirtbag. What else? I found this interesting. The number of homeschooled families has grown from an estimated 13,000 in 1973 to 5 million. That's according to a National Home Education Research Institute. The homeschool population has grown an estimated 2% to 8% annually. But in 2019, homeschooling began to increase dramatically. In March 2021, an estimated 5 million children were currently being homeschooled in grades K through 12. Roughly 8 to 9% of the school-age children. This is an increase from 2.65 million last year and 2.5 million homeschooled students in spring 2019. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, national homeschooling rates grew rapidly in 1999 to 2012, but remained steady around 3.3% until 2019. Nationally, the number of Black homeschoolers doubled from 2007 to 2011, and some families of color chose homeschooling to escape what they see as poor academic outcomes in schools. By 2019, the U.S. Department of Education found that 41% of homeschooled students were Black, Asian, Hispanic, or non-white, non-Hispanic. And since then, that number continues to grow. So there you go. Nobody trusts the school district. Joey says maybe we could do a segment. It's coming. It's coming. Please be patient because there's more stuff on that thing. With more stuff's coming. We're going to be doing that. Hold on. I get no money from James Calkins. Relax. All right. The University of Wisconsin-Madison is set to host a welcome barbecue that's only intended for students of color. The move comes just weeks after officials were forced to remove a racist boulder from the campus. Remember that? The event is scheduled for September 12th. The welcome barbecue flyer states that the free event is for students of color and is intended to welcome back students who are self-identified people of color. Well, there you go. I'm purple. I'm a person of color. I can go. All are welcome, intended for self-identified people of color. The University Center for Cultural Enrichment is hosting the event. The mission includes embracing all races, ethnicities, sexual orientations, gender expressions, religions, classes, abilities, and any other aspects of identity we hold. So, let me get this straight. I'm a conservative white man who is a Christian. I can show up. I'm just asking because it says it's for people of color. And pink is a color. In Tuesday morning statement to the outlet, UW-Madison spokesperson Meredith McGlone said that there's nothing unusual about the way that the campus is advertising the event. It didn't show up on the campus events calendar, the university housing events, or the activities page. It was a flyer. Ban whom now? Wait a minute. It's all going too quickly. Wow. This is just getting crazy. Lots of things. Look. I don't know who this is, Stephen. Who's ban who? Ooh, ban who now? But look, you've got a university that is wanting to do cultural enrichment, but they're banning white people. It's for people of color only, meaning no white people. All are included if you identify as a person of color. You can't be yourself. You have to be a person of color. I don't know. It is the weirdest. It is the weirdest. Maron. Craziness. I don't know. Some of these comments that came out long seem to be on stuff from earlier because it just came across in a flurry. So I'm wondering if there was an issue with the thing. So anyway, sorry. But this having this anti-racist thing by having a barbecue for people of just color, exactly, Cassandra. When will it end? Being this culturally accepted thing is racist in itself. And they don't get it. They don't get it. I don't know how you even explain it to someone who is that stupid. That you have people in educational background that they are that stupid. I don't know. I don't get it. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Especially since they just removed a boulder, a big rock, because the rock is racist. Yeah. Maroon, people. What did Sharon say? Banning anyone for speaking their minds is the same thing Facebook is doing. Unless it's harassment. You know, I don't even know what we're discussing, but can't we just agree to disagree? People can't do that anymore, at least publicly. We've gone off the rails. There's so many things going on. The Sterling soil thing, we will talk about that. It's going to take more time than probably what an hour will grant us. So don't get upset. We'll come to it. We'll get to it. Yeah. We are under attack. We are under attack. And just hold on. Just hold on. Right? We've got to make sure that we do a gut check, know where you stand. Don't bash people just because they think differently than you do. Risers, we're better than that. Unite. Risers, unite. All right. It's a weird world. It's a weird world. We are looking for better things out of the BOCC. Since we have Cook and Danhauser, we'll find out. We'll see. Maybe we will have something good come out of that very soon. Thank you, Roger. We will be watching, and let's find out what's going on. All right. So look, be patient. Be patient. It's all coming. There's only so many hours. There's only 1 hour in a day for the show, right? Don't have that kind of time, but we will put together a special, maybe a 2-part special, because this is pretty detailed. We're getting to it. I'm getting stuff together. Relax. Everybody relax. Everybody smile. Deep breath, Donna says. In with the good air, out with the bad air. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on this Wednesday. We'll be back again tomorrow for Thursday. Tomorrow's Thursday. It's a new day. And we will have a great, great time. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Y'all have a fantastic day. Stay strong. Like it, share it. We'll see you tomorrow.